Alright, I got an MP3 player here. It doesn't seem to want to take a charge. I'm not sure what brand it is. There's the only number I can actually find on it. There's two microphone head jacks, USB plug, standard pretty much. I don't know, it just won't take a charge. Try turning it on. Nothing. And after I get done charging it, it'll actually come on, but only for like a few seconds. It'll start to boot up and then nothing. Sometimes these older type of MP3 players, which this one's scraped up and looks pretty rough, so I imagine it's pretty old. Usually they use LiPo batteries in here, li-poly batteries. And what happens is if you run them down below, like, let's say 10%, or just run them down completely dead until they actually turn off, and you leave them like that for a day or two, they won't ever take a charge ever again. It's just the circuitry in here that pretty much says the battery's dead and it won't take a charge again, because I think these li-poly batteries do gas. When you charge them, they get gassy and they'll explode. And I think the manufacturers designed it in a way to prevent that. If they ever do go down 0%, they won't take a charge ever again, because if you do, then they'll gas, and there's a small chance that they'll blow up or whatever. Maybe. I'm not sure if that's actually why, but we're gonna go ahead and take this apart and actually charge the battery up manually. I think it's a 3.7 volt battery. That's what they usually use in everything. Yeah, 3.7 volts, 420 milliamps. Let's go ahead and test the voltage on this battery. Now, I charged this up for the whole night last night, up until morning, and it wouldn't turn on. It's all covered in tape. So, give me a minute. If I can't cut this tape off a little bit. It's still covered in tape. Jeez. Sure use enough tape on this, huh? Alright, we got the positive and negative exposed. So we're gonna test the voltage on this battery. It's supposed to be 3.7 volts. And it's at 3.14. 3.15 or so. I'm kind of curious now. Let's see if it's actually charging the battery. Okay, let's go over to here. and plug in my, it's a 5-volt adapter for a cell phone. I've looked it up, it's only 5 volts. It's exactly what you plug into a computer. And, you'd have to use a USB to charge this MP3 player and also to put the music on it. So it would have to be, 5 volts. It's the same exact input I'm putting into it. It's plugged in. Let's see what it does. It's coming on. But if I let it sit here for about, I don't know, like 20 minutes or so, it'll say, it'll have an X on the battery. Yeah, it'll put an X right there on the battery. And it says it's charging it right now, so let's see how much it's actually putting into it. Yeah, only 3.14, 3.15 still. Sit here for a few seconds and see what it does. It's not going up any. Yeah, still at 315. It should actually went up at least 100.01 volts in that time frame. So this battery is probably shot. And I'll go ahead and turn it back on. Nothing. So what I usually do to revive these is actually put voltage into them manually, because the circuitry in there is telling it not to put any charge to it because it's at such a low voltage. And with these li-poly batteries, once they get down to a certain point, like 3.10 or 3.20, they don't ever take a charge again. It's just how they're made, how the circuitry is made. Let's see what kind of batteries I have. I got a 9-volt battery here. Let's see what the voltage is coming into that. Oh, I got it wrong. Alright, about 8 volts. That's enough to charge that battery, decently for just a few seconds until I can just put it back on the charger, and it'll start to take a charge again. I'll get back to you in just a few seconds while I get some wires made up to where I can bridge that one into that. So I'll get back to you in just a few seconds. We're back. I've actually soldered the connections to the 9-volt battery here. I got the battery leads right here. And see if I can't move this forward or adjust the camera so that you can see. Okay, right about there, so gonna be kind of hard to film this in one frame. Here's the other part. I've actually desoldered the plus and minus on the battery here. just because I didn't want to actually fry the components on the motherboard when I put 8 volts to it. And when well, you can't see it, but the battery's right here. I test the battery. It's only at like 3.15, right? I got the 9-volt battery here. And we're going to put 9 volts into this battery to try and charge it. And we're just going to leave it here for a little bit. And you can do this with Bluetooth headsets that you haven't used in a while, or pretty much any other li-poly battery that's like this, with the tinfoil type around the battery and the tape around the connections here. These are pretty much li-poly batteries. I'm not sure the actual technical term for them, but they're li-poly. So pretty much you can charge these and then put them in your, resolder them in, and then actually charge them with their original, charger, and they'll start working again. Usually when they go down below, their normal voltage, usually they'll turn off at around 3.5, 3.4. They'll turn off to prevent damage to the battery, and you'll be able to charge it back up again. But when you run them completely down to 0, or below their specified rating, which is this one is 3.7 volts, when you run them down below that, the circuitry and the item that has the battery won't let it take a charge again for some reason. It's just how the circuitry is made, how the manufacturers wanted it made. It's kind of stupid, but in a way it kind of protects the user, so they don't get sued from the battery exploding and licking all over their hands and them getting sick because they eat food afterwards, or just whatever. It's kind of hard to explain, but it just kind of prevents that. So we're shooting about 8 volts, 9 volts or so. This Dollar General 9-volt battery is pretty low, so just gonna hold it here for a little while and then test it. And the battery is still cold. Usually when you jump these li-poly batteries like this, they'll start taking a charge again. Usually with Bluetooth headsets, they don't really get used that often, and they won't ever take a charge again. But if you disassemble them and charge them up with a couple AA batteries or something, and then put them back in the circuitry, resolder them back in, they'll work like brand new again. It's just the circuitry in the system that prevents them from charging back up again. It's kind of stupid, Oh well. Well, this is connected to a 9-volt battery. And remember how it got, what was it, 3.14, 3.15? Let's see what it is now. 3.30, 3.31. So that's how you do it. You just jump them with a different battery. You know, something that's a little bit more than what usually goes in it. So just hold it there for a little bit, and I mean this 9-volt battery I got is pretty much dead anyway. So if you got like a really good 9-volt battery from Dollar General or something, only $1, usually it'll bring it back to life in just a few seconds. But this one, like I said, is it's pretty low. You know, it's pretty dead. But for just this little 3.7-volt battery, it should charge it up pretty good. Just take a while. Wow, we're already at 7 minutes. We should probably end this pretty quick, but yeah, I mean, what was it, 3.5 or something, 3.1? What is it now? It's about 3.3, 3.34 now. So it's holding a good charge, so we're gonna go ahead and solder it back in. Which this is the left side is positive, so we'll go ahead and solder the positive in first. There's that one, there's the negative. You want to do this relatively quickly because the battery will go down and you won't be able to charge it. Alright, we got both of them charged, or both of them soldered in. So we're going to go over here. Actually, unplug that. That's from my phone. About ready to go dead. And plug this back into it up at the top. And without even pushing the button, there it goes. There it goes. Nice charging. But what if we unplug it? Oh, damn it. That just goes completely off. Come on, turn back on. I ain't gonna turn back on. But usually when you plug them back in, they'll start charging again. The circuitry in there detects that the battery's, half full or whatever, or even a quarter of a way full, and it'll actually start taking a charge again. Usually with Bluetooth headsets, when the battery's completely dead, it'll go ahead and charge, and you just leave them like that, and they'll go ahead and the circuitry in there will be like, oh, well, the battery is like, a quarter of the way full, let's go ahead and charge it, but when it's like 0%, or according to these li-poly batteries, when they're below, let's say 3.1, 3 volts or so, they will actually stop taking a charge. I don't know why, but, the circuitry, says why. It will start taking a charge again. So hopefully, I'll let you know in the description if this will actually hold a charge or not. And if it does, well, you know how to recharge a lipo battery. So I'll go ahead and put this back together, and if it doesn't take a charge, well, then the battery's pretty much toast. But usually when you run these things down past, 1% when they won't even turn on anymore, um, the battery is down below a percentage that the circuitry will allow to actually recharge the battery, and it won't charge the battery back up again. It's just, I don't know, it's within the circuitry how the manufacturer made it or whatever, but it won't allow it to take a charge again, especially with Bluetooth headsets. Like, I've worked on so many Bluetooth headsets, you just take them apart, hook up a AA battery to them for just a few minutes, plug them back in, they'll work like brand new again. They'll start taking a charge and they'll work forever. Until somebody runs them down below 1% or something. But yeah, that's how you fix them. Alright guys, well I've charged it up. Not for very long. It's got 3 bars on the battery out of 4. I'm playing some music that was already on it. And I'm not sure if you can hear that or not. It's not really music, it's like someone recorded something. It's not actually my MP3 player. So, I don't know. It's just some recorded music they had on here. There we go. Wow. Rap music. Yeah. So, seems like it's working. Yeah. Trying different modes. Not sure on how to exactly work it, but anyway, at least we know it works. Let's go ahead and turn it off. Okay, it's off. Now flip the switch on the side here. Back up. Thinking it'll turn back on by itself, but maybe I gotta push the button. Yep, there we go. And there we go. We can select music, video, photo, record, ebook, navigator, settings. And we still have 3 bars left on the battery. So I think I fixed it. So pretty much all you have to do is make yourself a 9-volt battery. What I did was solder some wires to the ends of these connectors, and the smaller one's positive. And you got to get these right on the battery on the MP3 player, or else you might blow something inside of it. So make sure you got the positive and negative right, and then just connect these two to the ends of the battery. Make sure you desolder the battery first from the inside of here. Take it completely out of the circuit, and then go ahead and rewire it. I only got like 4% battery remaining on my phone, but not rewire it, but just connect the negative and positive to the battery in here while it's out of circuit, completely out of the MP3 player. And just hold it there for a few minutes, and then hurry up and put it back in, resolder it back in, and plug it into the charger as soon as possible to charge the battery back up. And then once you got it to that point, it will start taking a charge like normal again. Like I said, them li-poly batteries inside here, and especially like these helicopters, remote controlled helicopters, once you run them down to a certain point, they won't ever take a charge ever again. Just like Bluetooth headsets. Bluetooth headsets have the same type of battery in them, at least most of them do. You have to manually charge them back up when you run them down to 0%. So, yeah, that's all you gotta do.